Alright, so I've completed my first week at Andrew Lewis, and it has gone much more smoothly now that I've gotten into it and gotten used to the students and my cooperating teacher style. There are some things that have come up. It's really interesting because we just had an assembly for the 7th graders. At Andrew Lewis they have a 6th grade principal, a 7th grade principal, and an 8th grade principal. And so there was an assembly meeting with the 7th grade principal, and he talked about student behavior and that he's proud of a lot of them, but that the number of students that are failing has increased. First 6 weeks 15, second 6 weeks 21, and now it's moved up to I think something like 45, which is enormous. And these students are failing, and the principal's very frustrated by this, and talking with teachers, and he's the kind of principal he's really great because he always stops in the classroom, checks in, makes sure everything's going on, stands in the hallway, talks to people, great students. So I really like him a lot. We've had some situations at the school with students peeing on bathroom floors and all sorts of things, so it's been a pretty busy week, I would say. I've started to take over some more roles, which is really good because I have a really hard time just sitting and watching. And the way his classroom, my CT's classroom set up is, first part he kind of does a mini lesson, and then the rest of the time is silent reading and them just working on their own things and getting their own things done. And so it can be very boring if you're not interacting with students, and I'm sure things will change when I'm student teaching. That time will be differently, and what I'll be doing compared to what he does during that time will also be different. But I've gotten to interact with students more. I think when I first got there, they saw me as this random person in the room, and they didn't know quite what to do with me, and now they're actually coming up and asking me questions, sometimes raising their hand for me instead of Mr. Benson, which is really nice because it makes me feel like I'm actually there for a reason. I actually have something to offer. And I regularly get up and talk to the students and help them with things. And I've actually, on Friday, pretty much did, after our first period, or our first class, I did the rest of the classes. It's not like a full teaching responsibility right now because of just the way the class is set up, and they're doing a lot of tests and stuff this week, but I'll definitely be introducing assignments and taking the lead on assignments later this week especially. And I'm trying to think, it's just there's been a lot of issues with realizing what Beer says, that some of the students in my class have a very hard time reading. It's amazing, just sitting down one-on-one with those students and realizing how much help they need and how much help they haven't gotten in the past or they're not getting, and how am I going to reach them and reach the other students. So that's definitely a little bit overwhelming. One of the students in my class, pretty much all the teachers have given up on her, and obviously I'm coming in here, I haven't been here very long, they've been dealing with her all year, and so of course they're frustrated, and I guess I haven't gotten to that step yet because I obviously haven't been there. I'm kind of hoping to get a chance to talk to her one-on-one, see if I can figure out what's going on. I mean, obviously I'm not going to be, it's not like everything's going to fall into place when I enter the picture, but maybe another face might do something to help. She never turns in work, ever, never does homework, nothing like that, just sits there, and constantly gets fussed at by the teachers, and obviously that's not working. I'm not saying that I have all the answers, but hopefully I can try to reach the student in some way, shape, or form, at least figure out what's going on, or do something. And it's been pretty, I really don't know the extent to which they have tried things. I have one great thing to say today, and that I randomly decided to implement a list to have posted in the classroom. I'm going to move it to an online activity, database for them to keep the books that they like to read, but they have a library day every couple weeks, and they go and they do AR reading, and they pick out AR books. And I noticed when I went in on, I think it was Wednesday that we did this, and they're kind of wandering around aimlessly looking for books, and they really have no idea what they want. And they were asking me for suggestions, and then other girls and also guys were coming up and telling me, oh my gosh, you have to read this book, you haven't read this book yet. And so I decided to come up with a list that's where students could write down the title, the author, the genre, and who recommended it, meaning themselves. And I titled it AR Books, Ms. Jones, and Others Must Read. And I didn't know if kids would really be into it or anything, so I just decided to test it out. And I introduced it in the morning. The list was completely filled, not even through the whole day. So that was really exciting, and so I brought in an additional list, which has also been filled. And so I'm thinking about doing something with Goodreads on here. I haven't decided if I'm going to do like as a class, have a Goodreads account. I don't know what the kind of issue or regulations are in terms of students having online profile kind of ideas. I'm not sure how that works, so I'm going to look into that some more. That's something really exciting and that the kids really seem to be into and excited about, and girls and guys alike are adding to the list, and kids are looking at the list, and it's a great resource for students to use, before they go down to the library to see what books other people have recommended that are of similar interest to them. And I'm actually going to put a book list together of books I recommend or that Beers and Atwell have recommended that are good in specific genres. They kind of did a small questionnaire to gauge their interest. So I recommend, doing something similar in your classroom. It's worked out really well. And just excited to see how things are going. The unit sort of coming together. It's hard to get all your ideas together, and I have ideas and what I want, but to figure out the end goal and how it all fits cohesively. It probably, you always try to have it perfectly fitting together. So we'll see how that works. But anyways, I hope everybody else's student teaching is going well, and I hope that I continue to be a more leading, play a leading part in my classroom.